to the Kids Are in Bed Fantasy Football League broadcast. This is Eric Leiner for your host, and this is the show for Wednesday, 9/16. Hello, Fantasy Football League members. Congratulations to all the winners from week 1. We'll go over a few different things. So first off, let's handle, we had a couple of waiver questions from Lindsay and Matt. One of the questions was, can you bid on players while they're still playing? And yes, you can. So waivers are going to run every day at 10 in the morning, Central Standard Time. So if, for instance, Cam Newton is going off, you can put a bid in on Sunday, and then when waivers run on Monday, whoever has the highest bid would win. And then Matt asked if there's any penalty for picking up players off waiver, and there's not. Remember, waivers run at 10 a.m. daily. You have $200 in fab budget for the whole season. Once it's gone, it's gone. And you can make a $0 bid. So you don't have to worry about running out of fab. Some league news. I want to congratulate the weekly high scorers, Zigatron, Matt, did a great job. He scored 216.4 points on the week. By far the highest scorer. A lot of that thanks to Josh Jacobs, who scored 60 points for him. So Matt, I'll send out the $5.80 through Venmo. Consider the 80 cents my wedding gift to you and Jill. I know, big spender. Thanks, Eric. All right, week 1 recap. So in week 1, Wild Hogs beat the champ 164.38 to 147.12. The Wild Hogs were led in victory by QB Josh the Stallion Allen, rookie running back sensation Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and wide receiver Robert Woods. The champ was led by wide receiver extraordinaire for the Arizona Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins, scoring 45.10 points. Tight end Travis Kelce and kicker Will Lutz. Running back Le'Veon Bell and wide receiver Michael Thomas had less than stellar Week 1 performances. This isn't the first time Le'Veon Bell has let Scott down. In 2018, Le'Veon's holdout year, Scott also had Le'Veon on his roster. To be fair, Le'Veon did suffer a hamstring injury this week during Sunday's game. Game number 2. It was a barn burner coming down to the last game on Monday night between Easy Mode and Saxon the City. Team Easy Mode comes out with the win, 160.66 to 138. Easy Mode was led by quarterback Aaron Rodgers and wide receiver Adam Thielen, which had to kill Lucas because he is a diehard Packer fan. Saxon the City was led by wide receiver Jamison Crowder and Will Lutz, and wide receiver Will Fuller. Next, 2 for the Money beats Julio's Angels 170.04 to 158.68. Julio's Angels made this way too close of a game by starting Miles Sanders, who was ruled out on Sunday, and not having a good player to pivot to. 2 for the Money was led by wide receiver Calvin Ridley, running back Kenyon Drake, and QB Patrick Mahomes. Julio's Angels was led by wide receiver Julio Jones, who her team is named after, Russell and QB Russell the Chef Wilson, and running back Dalvin Cook. The Dublin Shamrocks squeak out a victory versus Turpin, 182.9 to 180.6. The Dublin Shamrocks relied heavily on running backs Ezekiel Elliott and Chris Carson and quarterback Lamar Jackson to compensate for their defense scoring -3 points for the week. Turpin was led by wide receiver Devonta Adams, running back Raheem Mostert, and running back Aaron Jones. I'm sure the newly married Jill was excited to have her Packer players beat up on Dobbs' defense, the Minnesota Vikings. In the last game of Week 1, Zigatron annihilates Team Butt Fumble 230.4 to 148.24, an 82.16 point differential in Week 1. Zigatron was led by running back Josh Jacobs, scoring 60.40 points, running back Christian McCaffrey, and quarterback Kyler Murray. In defeat, Team Butt Fumble was led by wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster and the Ravens defense. GM Mike sat QB Tom Brady, who outscored Dak Prescott, along with Adrian Peterson, who also outscored Todd Gurley and Austin Eckler on the week. Now let's bring up our hometown happenings segments, brought to you by Realtor Shabnam Goalfshan. So this week, the Vikings play the Colts on Sunday 9:20 at noon Central Standard Time. They play at the Colts, and the Lions play at the Packers at 12 Central Standard Time. If there's another team that you would like listed here, let me know. And the hometown happening segment is brought to you by Realtor Shabnam Goalfshan. Hometown happenings are brought to you by Realtor Shabnam Goalfshan with Edina Realty. She has helped my family sell and buy a home and was a pleasure to work with. Now my kids call her Aunt Shabnam. Leading you home, Shabnam Goalfshan, 651-338-6514, or look in the podcast description for a link to her website. Now let's head into our weekly matchups, brought to you by Jeff's Handyman and Cleaning Service. Alright, in game number 1, we have Zigatron 1-0 versus Wild Hogs 1-0. High scorer of Week 1, Zigatron, take on Sleeper's worst manager for Week 1, Wild Hogs, in Week number 2. Matt is looking to continue league dominance in Week 2 with running backs Christian McCaffrey and Josh Jacobs, and the number 1 rated defense, the Pittsburgh Steelers, to lead Zigatron to a 2-0 start. Eric is looking for continued success with quarterback Josh the Stallion Allen and running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and needs better wide receiver output in Week number 2 to start the 2020 season 2-0. Our next game is Easy Mode 1-0 and Team Butt Fumble 0-1. GM Lucas is going to need more than Sleeper's kicker of the week, Mason Crosby, to get past Team Butt Fumble in Week number 2. Easy Mode is hoping to continue to ride the hot hands of quarterback Aaron Rodgers and wide receivers Adam Thielen and Michael Gallup. Easy Mode is hoping that newly acquired running back Malcolm Brown is ready to make an impact this week on the field. After being embarrassed in Week 1 by Zigatron, Team Butt Fumble has a lot to prove in Week number 2. QB Dak Prescott, running back Todd Gurley are going to need to step up and help the team get the W in Week 2, and maybe a little help from the other skilled players on Team Butt Fumble. Game number 3, we have the Dublin Shamrocks 1-0 versus 2 for the Money 1-0. The Dublin Shamrocks and 2 for the Money is the best bench warmer of the week game in Week number 2. The Dublin Shamrocks sat wide receiver Anthony Miller, and this could have made his narrow margin of victory a little wider. 2 for the Money sat the 49ers defense and quarterback Kirk Cousins in Week 1. The Dublin Shamrocks are relying heavily on quarterback Lamar Jackson and running back Ezekiel Elliott, along with others on the team stepping up to the challenge. 2 for the Money is hoping that the wide receiver Lizard King Alan Lazard will make a huge impact this week. General Manager Pablo is looking for continued consistency with quarterback Patrick Mahomes and really needs wide receiver T.Y. Hilton and tight end Mark Andrews to step it up to make it to 2-0. Game number 4. The champ 0-1 versus Saxon the City 0-1. The champ takes on Saxon the City in week number 2 in a battle to get their teams their first win in 2020. With a questionable wide receiver Michael Thomas and running back Le'Veon Bell on IR with a hamstring injury, General Manager Scott was busy on the waiver wire making an unsuccessful bid on running back Malcolm Brown and picked up running back Benny Snell and wide receiver Sammy Week 1 Watkins. The champ is looking to harness some of the magic from 2019 to help him pass Lindsay and Saxon the City in Week 2. The lowest scorer of Week 1, Saxon the City, needs a win in Week 2 to right the ship towards a championship. General Manager Lindsay needs running back Jonathan Taylor to step up and lead Saxon to City to a victory. Upgrading her defense to the Chicago Bears won't hurt chances either in Week 2. Our final game for the week is Julio's Angels 0-1 versus Turpin 0-1. Julio's Angels and Turpin are going to battle it out in Week 2 for their first win of the year. I'm hoping that General Manager Beth stays awake long enough on Sunday morning to make sure running back Miles Sanders isn't in her lineup if he's out for Week 2. Julio's Angels is hoping chef quarterback Russell Wilson continues to cook in Week 2, but she's going to need some other sous chefs to get the job done against Turpin. Finally, the bride and not the bridesmaid. Jill needs a post-wedding win so her husband, Matt, doesn't run away with the bragging rights in the Fantasy Football League chats in the house. Turpin needs quarterback Drew Brees, wide receiver Devonta Adams, and wide receiver Allen Robinson to light up the night and lead Turpin to a win in week number 2. That was our weekly matchup section brought to you by Jeff's Handyman and Cleaning Service. The weekly matchup segment is sponsored by Jeff's Handyman and Cleaning Services. Residential or commercial, renovations, ice dam removal, appliance repair, no job is too big or small. Just give Jeff a call, 651-283-2556. Jeff and his team can do it all. Find Jeff's Handyman and Cleaning Service on Facebook or at jeffshandymanservices.com. Jeff's Handyman and Cleaning Service and Realtor Shabnam Goalfshan for sponsoring our segments. And that leads us into the joke of the day. So Ole and Lena, boom, they're in a fiery car crash, and down to HE double hockey sticks they go. Ole and Lena are down there flipping burgers, having a good old time, playing in the kiddie pool. Devil's like, not on my watch. So he goes up to Ole and he says, Ole, what's going on? I mean, this is HE double hockey sticks. You're not supposed to have such a good time down here. And Ole says, oh, well, you know, Mr. Devil, sir, we're from the Great White North, so this is wonderful weather down here in HE double hockey sticks. The Devil's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna crank up the heat. Ole and Lena are playing bags, roasting hot dogs, having way too much fun for the Devil. So the Devil's like, Great White North. All right, here we go. Cuts off the heat. Ole and Lena are in their parkers and they're jumping up and down. Woohoo! 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 The Devil's like, Ole, what are you doing? You're from the Great White North. You should be miserable. Oh, well, you know, Mr. Devil, sir, Ole says. Hell froze over. That means the Devils won the Super Bowl. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. Good luck to all of you. Hope all goes well. We'll see you next time.